Well, I think the starting point is to say that Labour have come in with what looks like a reasonably responsible approach to national security, foreign affairs. And you've had a very clear commitment to the support of Ukraine, which I think is of fundamental importance. So that's not in question. Starmer, the new Prime Minister, will have an opportunity to present himself on, well, let's say, part of the world stage at the NATO summit in Washington, and everybody will be keen to see how he performs. David Lammy is a pretty inexperienced figure. He doesn't have a track record in foreign affairs. He has quite a lot of baggage and has said some rather regrettable things over the past 3 or 4 years, but maybe we should give him a chance and see how he performs. I mean, I heard him being interviewed last night, and actually I thought he did a pretty good job. So maybe, he'll rise to the challenge. But of course the other issue, which everybody views with concern, and Starmer hasn't actually said very much about it, is how he approaches relationships with Europe post-Brexit. I mean, we've got a reassurance with him he's not going to try to unstitch that. But I think he's hoping to form a new sort of relationship. But it's going to be tough for him because look at what's happening politically in Europe.
Let's approach some of those issues. We know that the fiscal problems that the Conservatives had will remain with this new administration, which has promised, obviously, to build growth as well. Finding extra money for defence is going to be problematic, no doubt about it. And in fact, the outgoing Defence Secretary, in fact, he's an outgoing MP because he lost his seat, Grant Shapps, was laying down the gauntlet to the new administration, pretty much saying, are you going to spend up to 2.5% on defence spending as well? You talked about this NATO summit coming up, absolutely pivotal first event for Sir Keir Starmer. Do you think the ability of this government to spend more money on defence, is it negotiable? They just have to do it?
Well, my position would be that they have to do it, and I think I'm rather disillusioned by the campaign of the general election because national security and defence were not primary issues, and in my view they should have been at the forefront of the debate. I mean, it's obvious why they weren't, but they should have been. The Conservatives had committed to 2.5% of GDP. I think the phrase that Labour have used, when we can afford it. Well, I think the reality is they have to afford it straight away, and you're going to have to make some tough choices. Maybe spending on the health service should not be absolutely a priority when compared with defence. But I mean, that's my background and my experience.